sure we're toggled. So you're toggled now. I'm toggled. Our guest will be toggled.
Don, not in front of everyone else.
That's the best part, showing everyone else. How are you?
I'm good. Well, now that you've toggled me, I feel refreshed and young and vibrant.
I feel like a new person.
I am a new person now, thanks to
Well,
you.
No, well,
And
thanks to
only you.
Well,
I haven't been toggled in a very long time.
listen, my toggle dance card has not been toggled. No.
God. Anyway, I'm doing well. So
Five.
it's a little warm here, so as soon as we're done,
Is
I want to
it?
get outside.
It's cold out here. It's like it's windy and blustery. We've gone through the marine layer of it's early May gray, June gloom kind of stuff.
Well, let's see. What does it say here? Well, no, it says 68, but it feels warmer.
Where, here or there?
No, here in San Francisco, it says 68 right now, but it feels warmer.
Is the sun out?
It is.
Okay.
Yes.
Good
But I
for
haven't
you.
been, when I'm inside my little cubby hole here in my dining room, I couldn't tell you if it's raining, snowing, thunder. I couldn't tell you.
No, I
But
hear
those
you.
days last week that was like in the 80s, I'm done with work. I'm just going to hop over to the gym across the courtyard.
Mm-hmm.
I open the front lobby door and that wall of heat just knocks me on my ass. Luckily, it's air conditioned in the gym, so I don't feel the heat.
Good for you.
I'm just, we get heat, but not like Southern California, not like other parts. So,
well, I could use some other parts right now because, like I said, cold, chilly, don't like it. Didn't sign up for this.
So, happy hump day.
Happy hump day. Oh, we haven't done that in a long time.
It's a Wednesday. It's hump day. Can't forget it.
How's your hump?
Yeah, I could use some toggling.
I was going to say that.
Real bad.
I was going to say that.
But I know we're going to take a break in a minute, but we have a guest who's joining us.
Yes.
And we will spend some time with her and learn about what's going on in her life.
Yes.
So
we've been pumping out the episode recordings, haven't we?
Well, we've been recording a lot right now, and then they'll be spread out over time. So this is the second one this week, and we have a third one coming up in a couple days. So
yeah, we're
that's called front loading.
Or pumping on hump day. Pump on the hump day.
It's a happy pump day.
Pumping and humping.
Yeah, you know what? We're lucky we've had some guests who said yes. Yeah. Some we didn't know if they would.
Right. I was a little surprised.
And so that'd be a nice surprise.
Yes.
And I know that you've got one other one that we haven't mentioned yet who, Desiree?
Yes, Desiree. Desiree.
Right.
We're looking for you, Desiree.
And so she'll be coming up. We haven't committed a time and date with her.
Mm-hmm.
But, it's season 3 and we got to crack that whip.
And by the time this came out, we'll have let Marty Bean out of the can.
I know. He's the superstar of season 3.
It's been a running joke since season 2 at the end and then the beginning of this season when we just, poor Marty.
Let me out of here.
So I guess should we take a break and come back?
Yeah, take a break and come back and welcome everyone.
And make sure everyone's toggled.
Yes.
Okay. I guess the word of the day is toggle.
Well, that's your job, I think.
Well,
you're the master toggler.
Someone has to do it.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be right back. And we're back.
Yes, we are.
I promise not to ask you if you've toggled, but we have to make sure that everyone is toggled. So
that'll be our secret word.
Okay. Well, welcome to the Don and Gary. I am rusty. I am so rusty.
No, you are Don.
Okay.
And I'm Gary.
I'm still rusty.
Please
this
continue.
is the Don and Gary podcast. We are living proof that giving us a podcast and a voice might still be a bad day after 3 ideas. Oh my God. What's wrong with me? Take 2. I'm going to cut that. Welcome to the Don and Gary podcast. We're living proof that giving us a podcast and a voice might still be a bad idea after 3 years.
Right?
Right. We're here to unpack and navigate and unwrap the world at this age.
And Don, by the way, what age is that?
I'm not going to talk about that right now because I'm in a good mood.
Because you said the Don and Gary podcast, but technically it's the Don and Gary Doing 60 podcast, which would imply that
that we're Don and Gary doing 60.
And we're not doing 60 miles per hour.
60 episodes?
We're not there yet.
Okay, right. Yeah, okay, fine. Don and Gary doing 60 podcast because we're 60 plus years old.
This is a big moment, people.
Don't worry, I'll cut this out later. No one's ever going to know. Listen, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. You can watch us on YouTube at Pfeiffer Pod. Please go and see all of our older episodes, all of our shorts, all of our commercials. There's lots of good stuff in there. And we are on Instagram and Facebook. We're on Blue Sky. We're just basically everywhere, right?
And don't forget the main hub.
I let you tell us this part.
Where can our main hub is the website that's hosted by Podpage.
Folks, I'm sorry. I thought I had it together today. Podpage.
That's why I'm here, Don. I'm just to pick up your crumbs.
Well, yes, please come and visit us on the website hosted by Podpage. You can leave us voicemail. You can see all of our old episodes. You can see what's happening next. You can see clips from all of our other commercials and shows like we do on YouTube. So yeah, it's a great place to go. We'd love to hear from you. And Gary, where can they leave us an email?
That would be donandgarydoing60@gmail.com.
Okay. I promise to have it together.
We're waiting. No, not for you. We're waiting for them.
Oh, well, actually, our guest is here. Do we want to talk about who this is before we bring them in?
Well, big surprise, people. We have someone else we know from high school. We knew a lot of people in high school.
We're not running out yet either. It's really good.
No, there's more coming.
Right.
So, yeah, let's let her in and start chatting.
Okay, here we go. Oop.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi.
We were just saying
Can
that
you hear
we
me
know
fine?
Yes. We're just saying we know a lot of people from high school, and they just keep coming. We're an endless number of people that we know after all these years. So welcome.
Thank you.
And Anna, just so you know, before we get started, I want to let you know that you have been toggled. Toggled is the key word of the day, because if we don't toggle each other, we happen to have reverb or we can hear an echo. So Gary taught us that if we're not toggled, we can't continue. So luckily for all of us, we are toggled. I know that took a lot of worry out of your day.
I did not know I had been toggled or the importance of being so toggled.
Believe me, you'll know when you've been toggled.
And let me tell you, being toggled on a Wednesday hump day, that's a good thing.
Yes.
Oh, are we going to go there, Gary?
Well, it's early. We got lots of time.
To.
Lots of time. So there's plenty of time to go there.
Okay.
So Anna is our special guest today. As I said before you joined us, we know a lot of people from high school and they keep coming. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Do we know Anna's last name? Nothing written there. We'll just leave it as Anna. Just Anna. That's all we need to know.
Mysterious Anna.
There's no other Anna in the world.
The one and only.
The one and only. So we're just going to jump right into it. So again, we know from high school. So were you born and raised in the Bay Area?
I was born and raised in the Bay Area. I've lived here essentially all my life.
And then when you graduated, did you stay in the area?
I did. I stayed I actually got my first professional job senior year before I'd even graduated. And so I was doing double duty as a graduating senior and working full time.
Wow.
Yeah. And that was my first job in scholarly publishing. So that was a really great foray straight from school to the career I really wanted to have.
So I want to talk a little bit about high school. No, we won't dwell on it. But the one question I haven't asked any of our other guests from high school, did you enjoy it? Did you have a good time? Or was it like you were just wanting to get out fast?
No, I actually loved being a student, and I loved the teachers. I thought we had incredible teachers in our public school in San Mateo, and I had a lot of friends, you guys among them, and I really enjoy, there are aspects, of course, of the high school experience that none of us enjoy, but I really did enjoy it. I enjoyed the learning part and the friends part.
I was the same way. I know Don, if you ask him.
We'll get to me in a second. I have a question.
Story.
Well, Gary and I were in a group that was doing dinner parties in high school. Like we had a monthly, we were going to fancy restaurants. Sometimes the fancy restaurants didn't know what to do with a bunch of high school kids, but we were generous tippers and certainly gourmands. So We did Moroccan, we did Spanish.
Did you really?
You know, I remember a very fancy dinner at Julius's Castle on the top of Nob
Yes.
Hill.
Castle, fancy.
Julius's Castle. And the Moroccan restaurant was Mamunia's.
Mamunia's, exactly.
Back in like the outer Sunset, outer Richmond, way out there.
Yeah.
It's all coming back to me now.
Yeah.
But Anna, something I wanted to ask you about, because Gary and I spoke about it briefly, was that you were part of a group of people that was it the Accelerated Studies Program, or AP, with Dr. Fisher and Mrs. Brooke Knight and all those people?
Yeah.
What was it called? Wasn't it like
was that advanced placement? AP?
In current parlance, I guess we just call it advanced placement or something like that. But, you know, and in really throwback days, we would call it the Gifted Kids Program, but we don't say that anymore.
You were part of the gifted group, as I remember.
I was not. She was.
Yes, no, I didn't even get through the front door of the gifted group. I wasn't even allowed to look at the front fence of the gifted group. So
yeah, no, because you guys took all the accelerated classes, and
yes,
I never got invited. So, you know, but I still knew them. So I felt kind of smart because I knew many of them. So studying was obviously very important to you. Did you do any extracurricular activities like band or choir or any sports or anything?
I really didn't. I had been a very serious athlete before high school, but I had dropped out of competitive swimming by the time I started high school.
That's what I thought. Because weren't you a lifeguard?
No, I was not a lifeguard, but I was a very, very serious competitive swimmer before high school.
Okay.
I was briefly involved with the drama department at our high school. So I did, you know, not so much acting at that point. I was doing I did a choreography thing once for one of the musicals, and, you know, that was fun. But I was already looking beyond high school, truthfully. And so as soon as I got my wheels, which was 16, a 1962 VW Bug, I was driving off first to Palo Alto, sort of for the first year, and then San Francisco when Palo Alto got too slow and sleepy for me. But I was definitely hanging out with college people, you know, in my last years of high school.
She was always. I always think of you like regal, Anna, like smart and regal, and you wouldn't be caught in any foolishness at school, you know, of pranks or things like that.
I honestly regret that. I think I'm less mature now than I was then, and I'm having more fun. But I understand some kind of raucous activities getting up to in high school, and I was too busy following all the rules.
That's allegedly, Anna. That's not possibly true that I had anything to do with burning anything down or starting a ruckus or having a party or anything like that. I would never do that. And alcohol was never involved, and neither were cigarettes. So
no, never.
It's all a bad tag that Gary tries to hang on me every time we talk about it.
But I do think maturity is overrated, and I certainly was all about being mature.
So you're out of high school, you're out in the real world. You said you got a job as a senior, and what it was in publication?
I was working for the University of California Press. I'd been there as an unpaid intern for credit my senior year. And so when a full-time job opened up, the first publishing jobs especially on the West Coast are very, very few and far between. So I just applied for it. And lo and behold, I ended up staying there 30 years. So
that's all.
I started,
just 30.
I really loved it. It was not the sum total of my career, but it was the bulk of it. And I rose up through the ranks. I ended up being assistant director and chief financial officer, you know, but it was really a remarkable place to sort of grow up at work.
Wow. Amazing. And then you were also at
Berkeley.
After that, you decided to go to somewhere else?
Yeah, I stayed with the same employer, which is the statewide University of California, but I ended up going to the Berkeley campus. And so my last 8 years before I retired quite early at 60 I was the assistant dean for arts and humanities at Berkeley.
Wow.
So that was also unexpectedly joyful. I mean, it was a really wonderful sort of last professional chapter.
And you said you retired at 60, so was that something because you knew you needed a change or a new chapter or?
well, two things. First of all, I had the great fortune of working 39 years for an employer that had a pension. So I certainly knew that was possible to retire. It was not desirable to do it before 60, but certainly possible at 60. But honestly, it was more, my father had died tragically without warning at 43 when I was 13. And I have grown up, some people, we now call it the bucket list. I grew up knowing nothing is guaranteed and I want to live to the fullest. And so if I had the chance to retire early, and be comfortable enough and provide for my family, I was going to do it. And that's what I did.
Wow. Well, we live vicariously through your social media posts.
So very curated life, my social media posts. It's only about rowing and travel.
What do you think about the current state for the children now getting through college and the cost to go to get a proper education these days?
I mean, I really, it's criminal, honestly, what education costs in this country, because my parents were both teachers. I have 2 degrees from Berkeley. I love education and learning. I think it's a privilege and a right that everyone should have. And the fact that kids are now graduating with huge debt. We won't even go into it, but the whole education system is being actively dismantled also are 2 terrible things that we've saddled future generations with.
The reason why I ask is because at the time when we were leaving high school, going to college, you could go to San Francisco State for a very, very nominal fee for almost nothing if you lived in the county or in the state. And also going to I went to Kenyatta College, which was a junior college. It cost nothing. And it was a wonderful school. Yes. And CSM was there too. And I feel so much for the people growing up these days who have to go in just to get a basic education. It costs so much. And I'm seeing that, parents are going into debt to get their children through high school. If they can get a scholarship, it helps a bit. But if they choose to go someplace out of state or on their own where they have to live off campus and pay for housing, oh my gosh, it's a crazy thing right now. And I'm wondering if people now are devaluing an education because of the cost or how prohibitive it is.
I think we could go deep into this subject, and but I do think, I mean, we're at a very interesting time. And young, my son, I have a wonderful son, the joy of my life, who's 25 and a college graduate from UCSB. And it's a terrible time to look for a work, as a young person right now. So, but I do still believe, and I still counsel kids, high school age kids thinking about college, about the importance of college and also the importance of a liberal arts education. I think there's no better preparation than liberal arts, even though that has been really devalued. People think they have to be business majors or computer science majors at 18 and or accounting, God forbid. And it seems, it just seems criminal to narrow your focus and your path in that way.
Well, I didn't mean to take us down a negative rabbit hole, but it's just something I wanted your comments on it because you were so much part of the programs that actually helped people become educated and be a part of that. So first round of retirement, did you find yourself prepared for retirement? I know you said you took it voluntarily. So were you mentally and ready to not have that work in front of your eyes every day?
Oh, was I prepared? So much so that I am regularly held up by some of my still working friends and former colleagues as the poster child for retirement. But I decided, well, first of all, I turned 60 about 1 week after I retired. So I technically retired in my 50s, but I don't hang on that technicality. It's too obnoxious.
Show off.
But I had a blowout 60th birthday celebration with girlfriends. And then I did the thing I was most calling to me with that new unstructured time, which is I spent a good chunk of that fall visiting friends who had moved away or that I knew far away and staying with them, kind of dropping into their life for a week. And just, because I'd seen my East Coast friends on business trips and whatnot, but it was always a day or a dinner or something. But to actually be with them for a week and experience their lives really put us back in touch. And it was really magical. So that was a huge cornerstone of that first year was travel. And And I've continued to work, do a lot of volunteer work. I've always had volunteer commitments. So I serve on a couple of boards. And I certainly wanted to do that. But the other real structuring part of my retirement is my passion for this crazy hard sport that I do called competitive rowing. So I tell people I cannot, in retirement, I can't tell you what day of the week it is, but I can tell you if it's a rowing day or a non-rowing day.
Wow. So take us back to the beginning. Where did the interest start? I mean, did you do rowing as a child, or was it a family thing, or?
Not at all. I discovered rowing in my 50s, not when my son started rowing in high school. So I had my son, my only child, quite late. I was 36 when he was born, and when he was in high school, he started rowing. And I fell madly in love with the sport. I loved being a rowing mom. I loved going to the regattas. I even loved driving his carpools with the other boys in the car. And for some foolish reason, even though I knew that there was masters rowing out there, and I had two friends at church that were doing it, I just didn't think I should try it until he went away to college. I thought it would be too embarrassing for him, and I regret that decision. But I started at 56, and that was 7 years ago now. It is one of my consuming passions. It's a reason for travel. Certainly a huge group of my friends and fellowship comes from that community, and I absolutely adore it. And it's crazy hard, and I'm not that good, but I'm trying to get better.
Well, is it a challenge with this? Are you trying to beat a speed record or something that you continue to push forward there?
There are so many challenges in this sport. I mean, I suppose it's like other sports in that you can never really master it. You always strive for being better and better, and our bodies are aging and all. But in rowing, your age is also a competitive advantage. You actually get time taken off your times in races depending on your age group. So,
oh wow.
So
okay.
I can beat a 20-year-old rower theoretically, even if I'm slower.
Right.
And I'm really being evaluated in terms of raw statistics against people my age. So how do I stack up against other 63-year-old rowers in terms of my times? I know, Don, I think you use the rowing machine.
Don't say it like that, Anna. It's still a machine and it's still rowing.
Yeah, no. I'm saying so do we. We trade on it. Okay. So,
well, I mean, because I know we're going down a little bit of a rat hole because I'm very passionate about it too. But there's so much involved with regards to the form that you use. I've gotten through. There's so many people that are passionate about it. Luckily, with the program I have, you can actually go and do videos and get education on your form, and of course, look at your heat and how much you're rowing per minute and all these other things. But I have to say, it's also incredibly good exercise for us, that it's not something going to ruin your joints or your elbows or your knees or your hips or anything like that. It's just such good work for your body too. And I found
full body exercise, low impact, and you can do it as long as you live, honestly. And one of my favorite teammates she started at 75 and she rows and competes at 89. So
89,
and she's regularly in the boat with me. So
how deep is the water where you're rowing? Is it very deep?
We're rowing in the Oakland estuary, so it's deep enough for commercial ship travel.
Wow.
So I'm not touching the bottom when I fall in, but then I don't fall in. It's not, you actually don't go in the drink. Right. You stay in your boat.
And so when you are training or when you're traveling to go to a competition, is it always the same team, or are you joining different teams in different tournaments?
I belong to a very robust and healthy club of 150 masters rower called the East Bay Rowing Club. And there are several rowing clubs in the Bay Area. And so I'm almost exclusively competing with my team and for my team, which is great because it really solidifies your rapport. Nothing helps you with your adult friendships more than a road trip together. But I did once last fall, I did go on my own with 3 other teammates to compete at the World Masters Championships in Spain last fall. And that we did outside of the club. That was something we kind of did on our own dime and organized and trained for ourselves.
Okay, two questions. How many days a week are you actually rowing, or does it vary?
It's always 4 days a week unless I'm training.
4 days
When
a
I
week.
was training for Worlds, it was 5 days a week. So, and I do
And
weight training on off days. So I'm pretty much working out every day.
oh my gosh. And what makes you a master?
Just age. We're
Okay, well then we could all
not
be
collegiate.
masters.
Yes,
Don,
we're
you're
not
a
collegiate.
you're
We're
a big
masters.
We're
master, Don.
masters.
It's instead of saying old, the old rowers.
I'd rather say master.
Yes.
That's good. I like
Master
that.
sounds better.
We'll have to
Yeah.
work that into the podcast, Don.
Master.
masters.
Master podcaster.
Oh, and the largest rowing race in the world is in Boston, the head of the Charles, and I have the great good fortune to get to do that one time. But they really play that up. I think the 60s category is like the Grand Masters or something like that, and the 80s category must be the Supreme Masters.
Right.
They just really the older you are, the more illustrious you are.
Well, just
Okay.
think if my mother, who's going to be 99 in June,
I know your
Wow.
mother,
if
and
she
looking
were a
great.
rower,
Yeah,
she'd be like the High Empress of some.
the High Empress on the water, absolutely.
Wow. Educate me, because I'm not familiar with rowing. Is it a certain number of team members, and is it co-ed, or is it like there's a women's team and a men's team, or how does that work?
It's a co-ed sport, and we try to be very, very inclusive at our club, so we have some same-sex squads, but we are primarily integrated. And most of the races are by gender, but there is a mixed rowing category, and that's a category I've tended to do really, really well in. So they would have equal number of men and women in the boat. So two men, two women, four men, 4 women.
Okay.
And does this fulfill your competitive spirit? Because you said at the very beginning you were a competitive swimmer before we started. Yeah. And now this helps maybe fire that up in you still as being competitive.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
I guess my friends would tell you I've always been a competitive person, in whatever aspect. But yes, I was very surprised how much when I got my first medal in rowing, how much that meant to me. And
Yeah.
and I still feel like I chase medals to a certain degree. If you're really good and you're just getting so many medals, you don't care about the medals, but I still care about the medals.
Well, we were hoping you were going to come to the podcast with all your medals up to your neck like a turtleneck, so we could see all the medals that you've won.
And I'm hoping to share the podcast with my fellow teammates, so I could not possibly do that.
So from the time you were a competitive swimmer, there's a gap of years that were you doing anything else, or because you were focused on other?
I'm a hiker. I would work out. I ran 2 marathons at one point when I was trying to get my body back after childbirth, but I'm not a runner. I just did that for that intense purpose. But no, I really didn't have a sport. Even swimming, which I was very good at as a kid, I didn't feel the kind of passion I have for this sport. So I really kind of had an absence of 40 years from any kind of racing. It was just about fitness, and it's still about fitness. Fitness is really important. I want to be able to travel and do everything I want to do as long as possible. That's it's a huge motivating thing for me.
And I think in retirement, something that we hear a lot about that is also incredibly good and important for us as we age is to stay active. Absolutely. Also remain very socially active if possible. Right. Because what we hear many times, and one of the reasons we started the podcast was because we were hearing about so much isolation that comes with people as they age. So I think this is a wonderful venue for people to be involved in, because it includes, of course, physical activity, the competitiveness you talk about, but also very social. There's a lot of people talking, getting to know each other, becoming friends and colleagues and competitive rowers. But those are 2 really important factors to being retired or getting older too that people forget about. So this might be a great opportunity for people to become involved with this group or these groups.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's absolutely my favorite part of rowing is the people. I mean, it attracts really high achieving people from all walks of life who can handle doing something extremely hard that you really have to commit to very early in the morning, and they're from all walks of life and all ages. So I have, because of my rowing community, and that's just one of the many communities I have in my life. But in this community, I have some young friends. I have 2 really great friends I've made in their 30s, and that's not very common, to make young friends in your 60s.
Right.
Just a quick story too. I don't know. Do you remember Joe Andrews?
Of course I do. I actually knew Joey, as I call him,
Yes.
from like nursery school. I think our fathers taught in the same at CSM at community college.
The reason I bring him up is because he had a very similar story where he was he started to run marathons. I don't know if you know this story, but he started to run marathons. And then he was also becoming a triathlete. And he said, I can't do this. And people in his group that he joined with this triathlete group basically said, let's just try it. We're going to run a little bit. We're going to swim a little bit. And we're going to bike a little bit. And eventually he became so involved in it, became such a social and physical passion of his that he now leads the group and runs it. So, I mean, I think there's so much there for so many people if they would just get past the possible, the nervousness of getting on a bike or getting on a rowing machine or a rower. Sorry, what would you call it? Rowing? A rowboat?
Yeah, rowing machine, an erg. It's called an erg, but yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that. But see, I think there's so much there, and I think people might want to explore that a bit because it seems like such a great way to stay, as I said, involved and active and social.
Agreed. When I was training for the marathon I ran two. One was in preparation for the marathon. It was incredibly social. I mean, I had a cohort that I ran with every week on our training run, and a group of them were still very good friends. One is one of my best friends who hosted that 60th birthday party for me. And I remember distinctly that the Luna bars, which are I think Berkeley based, the nutrition bar, they ran a little campaign around that time that said, leave it to women to turn marathoning into a social activity. But it certainly was for me because we were running at a pace we could still maintain a reasonable amount of conversation. We did not set any time records for our marathon, but we did complete them.
And you had fun and you enjoyed it. And
yeah.
So one of the questions we ask, and I think I know the answer already, so we know, but because by doing this, you keep yourself young and active. But for some people as they age, turning certain birthdays could be challenging, or like, I'm not looking forward to it, or they dread it. Thinking back to any age, is there any age that they said this was a hard one to turn?
I've generally found the decade birthdays to be wonderful reasons for celebrating. I find the 9 birthdays hard because they're kind of nothing. You're not
what's
quite
left
there
after this.
Yeah, and you don't make a big plan. But I mean, honestly, last summer I turned 63, which I would have thought is a nothing birthday, and it was one of the most joyful birthdays of my life, and it was completely unexpected. It's like it's hard to know. But, I felt good and good things were happening in my life. So, it's a little bit about
keeping a positive attitude and so on. I'm the same way. Well, my 40th, I went to Europe. My 50th, we did a big party. My 60th, I did a big party. So yeah, the decade ones have always been, a big celebration, but I've never been one to I don't even think about my age sometimes.
Well, and I don't hide. I mean, I'm seeing a friend tonight and I've known her for 40 years and I don't know how old she is because she won't celebrate. I mean, I remember throwing her a 30th birthday party, but I don't know how many years ago that was. And she's only just recently stopped admitting to be anything more than 39. I think she's now copping to 49. I've never been like
already.
that. I mean, as I mentioned, my dad died so young. I feel proud to be the age. I'm 20 years older than he ever got to be. So I want to live and have some of the experiences that he didn't get to have.
Right.
Hey, and I've also, I'm not to get sober, but I lost 2 friends, way too young, right before I retired, honestly, the year leading up to my retirement. I had 2 friends my age die, and I think about them pretty regularly when I'm doing something hard. I'm like, I'm not sure I can make it to the top of this mountain, and then I start saying their names, and I'm climbing this mountain because they can't,
Right. Oh, that's amazing.
In your careers, have you ever seen any specific examples or have you experienced any specific examples of ageism towards you or towards the industry that you were working in or the profession that you had? Have you ever seen it or experienced it, more importantly?
Really not at the university and not in publishing, except for because I became I became chief financial officer at UC Press when I was 30, which was crazy or young. I actually did experience ageism at the opposite end of the scale. I really felt like people were putting me down. And I was a woman, which is also pretty unusual, or at least it was at that time in the finance field.
Mm-hmm.
I remember distinctly being on the East Coast at 30 in this new role and being in some board meetings and getting some remarks made towards me and thinking, oh, I think that was sexism. It was almost like I'd read about it in textbooks, but I hadn't experienced it growing up, during women's lib on the West Coast. I hadn't really seen it or felt it. And then all of a sudden I'm 30 and I'm in big boy meetings, and I was like incredulous. Oh, that really exists.
Wow.
So I have not experienced the kind of ageism you're talking about.
Okay, well, that's good.
Yeah.
It's just that I think people were seeing someone who was very talented, driven, and were probably put off by that a little bit.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, who knows?
Yeah. Right.
All right. I have another question for you.
Okay.
Are you one that keeps a bucket list?
Well, again, yes, because of my father's early death, I, from a very early age, started thinking about things that I needed to do, and I just started doing them. Like you, I traveled on my 30th birthday. I was taking a solo trip, a very ambitious solo hiking trip in Norway. And I learned during my reading on that trip, I read for the first time about the Camino Santiago de Compostela in Spain. And I said, this is great. I'm really getting to know myself again on my own at 30. And I should always take a month off on my decade birthdays and do this. So when I turn 40, I'm going to take a month and walk the Camino, not realizing that I would be a fairly new mom when I turned 40. And so I did not walk the Camino at 40, but I walked it at 43 when my son was old enough to leave behind. So, but those kinds of things. I mean, and I just try to check as many of them off as possible. So that's what I do.
Yeah, same here. I've got a few things, but mostly it's travel, place I haven't been to.
Yeah.
But I'm not as ambitious as you, I tell you. I need to maybe rethink my list.
So, and is there any place that you have never visited that you would like to, that would be part of Gary's question on the bucket list? Is there someone you have been putting in your pocket?
I do feel I have, even though I'm well traveled and I mean, I'm leaving on a trip in 10 days, I have never been to the continents of Asia or Africa. And those are very much on my list. I had an amazing trip to New Zealand. So I've been in the Southern Hemisphere, at least. I did that with my family a year and a half ago. But I really feel like those are both gaps and ones that I hope to remedy.
Okay.
And you're enjoying rowing so much. Do you see yourself, because you said your friend is 89, do you see yourself just continuing?
I honestly, at this point, I can't imagine my life without rowing.
Wow.
Well, you're inspiring me right now. I have to look into the local rowing clubs. There's got to be something somewhere.
I can put you in touch. There's some good clubs near you,
Really?
John. Yeah.
Really? Not in LA though, right? Somewhere else closer, I hope.
Oh, there absolutely are good clubs. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Or Don, you could row from there to here.
Well, I don't want to go down the rowing thing again, because I'll start talking and asking you a bunch of questions about that.
And Gary's eyes will glaze over.
How is your relationship with technology? Because, a lot of people make fun of us boomers not being able to handle our phones or the remote or their cars or whatever. How's your relationship with technology?
I think we have a good friendship, but I don't have a passion for it. Like, I don't have to upgrade everything every time it comes out, like some people I know. And I do think I definitely, especially when I was at the university with older professors, I could see people kind of getting paced out, like if they retired, they couldn't handle two-factor authentication to just check their email accounts and things like that. So I'm really fine with all of that, but I'm not somebody who's on the cutting edge. And my son occasionally does roll. He's 25 and he occasionally rolls his eyes. More at me than his father, but I mean less at me than he does at his father. But I definitely have not. I don't have a 25-year-old's love of technology.
Gotcha. So where's your opinion on AI these days? Where do you think it's going? What do you think?
I don't spend a lot of time worrying about it, mostly because I'm out of the career stream. I think I would worry about it a lot if I were still a working person. I think there's some amazing tools that are coming out of AI, and
Agreed.
particularly in the arts, which is an industry that I care a great deal about. I worry
Mhm.
about actors and singers and people getting compensation for their labor, their gifts, their talent in those arenas. That's where I have my worries about AI. But in terms of freeing us up from some of the routine stuff, it feels like there are some great positive things coming out of it too.
Absolutely.
Question, because you mentioned volunteer work, and I have also done a lot of volunteer work. I'm in my first year of being a volunteer for the fire department.
Yes, right.
And
I've seen your posts. Yeah.
our neighborhood association started in 2008, so however many years that is. So a lot of long-term commitments.
Yeah.
If you like, share any of the volunteer organizations that you work with and what you do.
Sure. I mean, one of the ones that I really enjoyed, and I did this for just under a decade, was I was on the board of the Freight and Salvage, which is a music venue in Berkeley. Now does world music. It sort of got on the map more than 55 years ago as a folk music venue, but they really do all kinds of music. And that was marvelous. It was a woman I'd served on another board, preschool board with, who got me onto that board. And I loved it because of the people I met. And one of the people I met was a professional recording artist, and she's now one of my great friends, and we hike every month together. And, so I met really wonderful people. I really love that organization. I'm also an Episcopalian, and I attend church, even though I know that's weird and strange. And I am on my fourth term of duty on that board. So I've served on that board in my 30s, my 40s, my 50s, and now my 60s in a 3-year term. And I've loved that work too, because that's a really important place and group of people for me. And I'm very, very happy to support them. And I've done, literacy boards and other boards, things that were very important to my mom. So I spent the second year of my retirement volunteering to work on campaign. I adopted a red state, Arizona, and worked on the Ruben Gallego for Senate campaign, and also on the national presidential election, which didn't go so well. So that was a huge, huge part of my volunteer commitment in the year leading up to the presidential election.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you just keep very busy. It's amazing. And your energy is good. I mean, you just keep. Do you feel, I figure you feel younger than your actual number of ages, the number of years, because you're so active and you're so involved in so many things.
I feel like I'm generally in the best shape I've ever been in my life, and I really love that aspect of being this age. But I do also experience I had a knee sprain recently, not from rowing, from weight training, but stuff tends to break down a little bit, and I even complained to my doctor recently. I said, I'm seeing you too much.
Yeah.
and she's younger than me significantly. And she sort of said, it's okay. That happens as you get older. But I'm not in poor health. It's just, not everything is always working exactly the way we want it to.
No, believe me, there's noises we make now just standing up that I never used to make. As soon as we get up from this podcast, I'll be going, I hate that.
Don, did you have your speed round of questions, or you have?
I did, but I wanted to ask, well, one more question too. Is there any question that you would like people to stop asking you?
I love talking to people.
Okay.
And I love getting people's attention. Honestly, I can't think of something that I've been asked.
No, that's okay, because there's sometimes, people just there's all the phrases like, oh, you look so good for your age. How old are you? It's like, oh, you're that. So there's we're all basically the same age. So it's it's
a privilege. Age is a privilege. We're lucky to be as old as tell me I'm acting like my mother. I think it's a huge compliment. She was a wonderful,
Yes.
wonderful woman.
Yes. That's great. So, Gary did have a question. So we have a small, short lightning round. It's very simple questions.
Should I brace for this?
There's yes, but might want to pull out some of your medals and say a little prayer to them real quick.
Okay.
There's
I'm
no right or wrong
in my
answer.
hand.
Oh, you do. Oh, see, you do have one.
She snuck it in there.
So these are and sometimes you can just say no. We don't do that. So quickly, we'll just say red wine, white wine, champagne, beer, or nothing.
White wine.
Okay. Movies, comedy, horror, or romance?
Romance.
Okay. A morning person or a night owl?
Morning. 100%.
She has to be for rowing. Come on.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Dogs. Sweet snacks or savory snacks?
Savory.
Okay. Nothing in your inbox or 100 of unread emails?
Nothing in my inbox.
Okay. City life or small town?
That's a hard one. I'm going to say mostly city.
Okay.
Cooking for 100%.
Okay. Celebrity gossip or true crime? You could say neither.
Yeah, I guess true crime.
Okay. Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
Fine.
Yes. Coke or Pepsi?
Coke. Diet Coke.
That was it. See, you did fine.
I did fine. Good. Okay.
You did fine.
Phew. I want the gold star. I live for the gold star.
Yes. Well, can we see the medal now?
I have two. No, you said I had to bring, I was supposed to wear, this one was the first one I wore. I won one. And that's the San Diego Crew Classic, which is a huge race on the West Coast. That's both collegiate and masters. And I won that in 2023. It was my first medal, and it's one of the more impressive medals in my collection.
Wow.
I love it. It's actually
went
very
back
impressive.
the next year and also won a medal. And these are both, even though they're silver, they're the first place medal. And on this one, we unexpectedly also got a trophy. And my coach came unglued. She was so excited how we got it.
Wow.
And then the other one I brought to show you is from one of my favorite races, and this is a gold medal. And I've actually won this gold medal 2 years in a row for this race. This is the Petaluma Half Marathon, which is 13 miles. It's a 13-mile race, so it takes us 2 hours of all-out rowing, or under 2 hours, honestly. And I got the golds 2 years in a row in a mixed four. So 2 men and 2 women with a coxswain. And then last year, when that crew was not available, I rowed in a women's four or quad. And I was the stroke in that race, and we got a bronze, which I'm also inordinately proud of.
I'm sorry, 2 hours of nonstop rowing?
Yeah.
My gosh.
On the Petaluma River. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I don't know. I don't think I could do that even on my rowing machine.
Well, last year I almost passed out. I mean, the other rowers were younger than me, and they left me on the grass rather than so that I was the only one that was there when the medal ceremony started. And then I sprung up to collect our
So in the other competitions you've been in, is there a general time frame or distance that's?
Yes. For rowers, competitive rowers, masters rowers anyway, the fall season is predominantly 5K races, 5 kilometers. And then the spring season, which is what we're in now, is 1K. So short races, sprint races. And so we train slightly differently in the fall than we do in the spring.
Huh. And the longer distance in the fall because is a weather thing or
no? It's just the seasonality of the sport.
Okay.
Yeah, Head of the Charles is just under 5K, but that's what people are racing in the fall.
Okay, back up. So wait, now we're going down a real hole again, but I'm going to dig ourselves back out. Do they welcome people who are at different levels? I'm assuming you can.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. When I started, I was a ranked beginner.
As you.
What?
Some of us are not as skilled as you are walking.
No, I was not at all skilled as a rower. I was fit, but I got a whole lot fitter. I think I dropped 20 pounds the first year I was rowing just because, it's very different.
Okay. Well, I feel very encouraged actually right now. So that's good. Gary, anything else?
I don't think so. I think we covered a lot and really interesting information.
What about the question? Come over here. Meet me over here, Gary. Come over here for a second.
What?
What about the question about if you ain't got time for that anymore?
Okay. So one of the questions, it's okay. It's a safe question.
Okay, go back.
One of the questions we ask, as we get older, sometimes you're like, you know what, I'm not going to put up with that anymore. Just because,
Oh, yeah.
you know, I'm older, I'm wiser, I have more insurance, you know, that line. So is there anything in life that you just won't put up with anymore? You don't have time for it. Ain't nobody got time for that, is the actual phrase.
I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
Somebody described it when I was in my 40s. I think someone described it as your fuck you phase. And I love that. I mean, those were words to live by, because I don't cut much time for what other people think of me, for one thing. I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to be my true and authentic self. I'm going to, you know, follow my heart, you know, listen to my intuition and do my thing. And I don't really care what other people think about that. So.
And when you were younger, was that something that
No, I cared very much about what other people
so you
thought.
carry that.
And it's akin to where we started in terms of maturity. It's like I was very interested in being adult and responsible and coloring, you know, between the lines. Not no more. My words to live by, and I saw it on a piece of art I saw on one of my travels in the fall. You know, fuck normal. I want magic. And that's where I'm trying to live.
Don, I think you just found the title of this episode.
Wow. Fuck normal. I want magic. Okay. Well, maybe, you know what? Guess what? Anna, thank you so much for joining us.
What
it's
a blast.
Really a pleasure.
So much fun to talk to you guys.
Oh, so good to see you too.
Great to see you.
Congratulations on all your success with the rowing and also with life. It seems like you're truly, really enjoying it and getting on with it too, which is really wonderful to see. And traveling and everything. It's like you're kind of a model citizen for all of us getting older.
We don't know how much time we have. We need to embrace it and live as big as possible.
Okay, great. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you guys so much for having me. It's been a blast.
Okay. Oh, good. We're so glad.
And you guys, you both look fabulous.
Well, I think we all do. So,
well,
come on.
I'm hanging upside down like a vampire, so my hair stands up and my blood rushes to the front of my face. So we're all good.
All right. Whatever you have to do, Don, it's working.
Exactly.
Hey, well, take care.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Just don't be pithy, but don't be pissy. You can be pissy, but don't be pithy. I can be pithy. You can be pissy. No, I'll be pissy. You be pithy. Missy.
Anyway, you gotta cut that out, right? Yes.
Yes.
We have come to the end of another episode. We want to thank our friend, longtime friend Anna.
Yes.
We'll just leave it at Anna.
Yes.
And you know, and it gives me hope that maybe I should take up rowing.
I don't know. Maybe you should give it a whack. Is there a rowing machine at your gym?
There is. I've been on a couple times, but I tend to do more of the elliptical and some other things. Okay. But I need to expand my horizons.
Yes.
And just last night, I was kind of thinking I should do more of this and some of that and try this. So I'm going to maybe, it may not be rowing. That's, you know, competitive rowing. That's probably a little bit above my
competitive. I mean, I didn't know I liked it until I tried it. And for me, it just vibed with me because I'm not a runner. I just don't like running.
Weren't you a runner before?
No. Mm-mm.
But you're
running away from things. I'm very intrigued after speaking with Anna because she makes it sound like such a great experience and something she truly is passionate about. I wouldn't mind giving it a whack. You know, I'm almost 64. I might have to try new things. Don't worry, we'll edit that out. I never said it.
Did you hear that, people?
No, no one's going to hear it. No one's going to hear it.
No, but you made a good point about her in that she's doing an activity that is, one, active, right? So staying healthy.
Yeah.
But two, being social. Because that's something that we've talked about, that as I've gotten older, a lot of my friends have drifted away for one reason or another, moved away because of work or because of family or just kind of life.
Yep.
And so I don't have the same group of friends that I used to have. I have friends, yes, but the group that you and I all had together when you lived here, that group doesn't exist anymore.
Same for me, though. I mean, and it's just like both of us. It's like we have to expand and step out of a comfort zone maybe a little bit.
Right.
I think there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
And, if this is a way to do it, great.
Right.
We have to find our own ways to do that. But yeah.
So those are the conversations we'll continue to have.
Yeah.
We have more guests coming, and then we'll do some non-guest episodes and talk about different things. So you can join us on YouTube to watch us. You can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Our main host is on Podpage, which has a website where you can get all the platforms. Of course, Facebook, Instagram. You can email us, Don and Gary doing60@gmail.com. I think I got them all.
Yeah, you did. Did really well. You remembered them all too, which is good.
I did. Well,
I did at the beginning because Rusty Barnacle. I would like you to call me Rusty Barnacle going forward.
Welcome to Rusty and Gary doing 60. Anyway, so I think that wraps it up for this episode.
That is, and I'd just like to say, thanks for tuning in. Stay young at heart and keep your reading glasses nearby. And stay and neuter your pets.
Oh, okay.
What were you going to say? I'm sorry.
No, I didn't think about what if I don't have a pet? All righty. Well, then until next time.
I'm Rusty McBarnacle.
And I'm Gary.
Okay. Oh, sorry. God. Let's sign off. We're done. I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.